Hey, hello, hi, it's your girl here, Rein, with another installment to my wedding vlog series. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. If you're not, I want to say welcome back. Every time you tune in, it does my heart good, so I want to say thank you. Today, we are talking about wedding invitation boxes. These things are glamorous, and they are all the rave. And of course, I came up with 4 designs of my own, so stay tuned because it's coming up right now. That girl that was planning the wedding before there was a wedding date or even a groom to boot, but that's all right because it manifested in my reality. And while I was doing my research, the invitations were something that was very special to me. And I came across some really beautifully styled invitations, namely those that were these beautiful silk invitation boxes. Fell in love head over heels. What I wasn't so head over heels for though, the price. I mean, if you do some research, these things can cost up to $13 a box. When you have 200 invitations that you need to send for about 300 guests, that can be super, super expensive. So you know your girl had to do some research to figure out how to make these on my own. And I am proud to say that I didn't spend more than $4 to make them myself. Yep, you heard me right. So let's get started because I'm going to show you the 4 different invitations that we came up with and how we're celebrating our very special day. For the first really simple invitation, I'm using these jewelry boxes that I got from Amazon.com. These are 9 1/4 by 6 1/4, so that works out perfectly for me and fits the invitations inside of it perfectly. I'm also going to be using these for one of our other boxes that I'm going to show you as a quilted option like this. For this, I am using specialty papers that I got from Hobby Lobby. This is by Paper Studio. Now, it is a little bit expensive, but it does go on sale every other week. And the designs that you see on the front are the actual papers that are inside. These are my exact Gatsby colors, so that's why I chose this particular paper. I've already gone ahead and I have cut my top to the size of the top of the box, and using my ATG roller, I'm going to be attaching that, and through here I'll just let you watch me work. And there you have it. There is that cute little box all done. And it is time for box number 2. So now I'm taking my ruler and measuring just about an inch, a little over an inch, to make sure I have enough fabric that will not only cover the wadding, but will fold over into the lip inside the box. So leave yourself enough room based on the size lid that you're using. So once you have your square cut out, you're going to place the top in the middle of that fabric. If you don't know where the middle is, go ahead and remeasure it until you have the same equal distance on all four sides. Following that cotton, I'm just continuing that line all the way to the edge of the fabric. Put your ruler right up to it and draw the line all the way to the edge, both horizontally and vertically. This is going to make 4 squares in your corner. That's really important because we're going to be using those to sew the seam of our boxes. So just make sure you measure accurately, and if you need a partner to help you hold it, go on and grab one. Now that everything is cut, what we're going to do is we're just going to cut about a 1/4 inch away from the line that we drew. Don't cut on the line because you need the space to sew on that line. So you just want to cut again about a 1/4 inch above it. Oh no, we're sewing. Yep, we are sewing. Don't worry. If you don't have a sewing machine, you don't really need one. Get some of the Fabric Fusion glue or tape form and you can seal that up nicely. Now this sewing machine does not have a reverse, which is why you see me turning that fabric around, but you're just going to sew directly on your drawn line. Be very careful to make sure that you sew straight and neat if you are sewing. There is your seam, and that is what you're looking for, a nice tight corner. Once you have all 4 corners sewn, you want to stuff that top down into the box and use your Fabric Fusion to fold the fabric over the lip of the box. Make sure your corners match up, guys. If you find it's a little bit too tight, take the stitches out of one corner and sew it a little bit above the line. That should loosen it up. Just make sure your sides are neat. Satin box. Now I really do like the way that it came out. Just a few notes on doing this particular project. Although it does look really elegant when you're done, working with the satin was a nightmare. It kept unraveling like ribbon would because it's satin, and when you're working with glue, trying to glue that over the edges, it was getting sticky, it was coming out. I was ready to throw the box out the window, but it does come out elegant when you're done. So of course, to hide my work, I had to get creative. I used some ribbon on hand for purposes of this tutorial. I will not be using this same ribbon to cover my work for the rest of it. You're going to cut 4 separate pieces and glue it inside because you don't want tension in the corners and not be able to put the lid back on the box. Also, I found a great use for my leftover paper from our box number 1 because I had so much left over, and it fits perfectly inside this size box or smaller. So that actually worked out great, so that I could use to cover that white on the inside. I'm actually going to be using black satin ribbon. So, you know, it wasn't terrible. The box does still close. It does still look nice. I made some of these other ones, as you can see. And so again, I'm not really finished with the inside, but that's a great use for that paper. And we're just going to cover that work with the black satin ribbon, or gray or silver, or whatever colors match. And, you know, you can have fun with it. All of them don't have to be the same design. As you can see, I got a few different designs here. And, you know, it's totally worth it in the end. But again, I would just consider a different fabric. Maybe something like this. I didn't use that for this project, but this is what you're going to see me use in our next box that we're going to demonstrate. And this just works better for cutting it straight, folding it over. You get a much neater look, kind of like what you saw when I did my cake box. So enough talking about that. Let's get on to the third box because I'm excited. Now, the key to building a sturdy box starts with the chipboard that you're using. This is 100 point chipboard. This is the thickest you can get, and you need a special cutter to cut that. And I am also using 20 point chipboard as door covers, which you'll see how that will work a little bit later. Okay, so you want to make sure that you determine what dimensions you want your box. The higher up you make these side pieces that I'm holding is the deeper the box is going to be. I have cut out 1 8x8 square in the center. I've cut out 4 2x8 squares for my sides, and I've also cut out two 4x8 squares that are going to act as my doors, which fold over the box, and they're going to meet in the middle. So whatever your dimensions are, you want to make sure that your doors that are supposed to fold in are half the size of your center box. You don't have to do 8x8. You can do 7x7 or 9x9. Whatever your dimensions are, just make sure you measure things appropriately so that things close the way that you want them to close, all right? And so that it is as deep or as shallow as you want the invitation box to be. Now, the reason I cut that other piece of chipboard, that thinner piece, is because when I make my box, I don't want the ribbon decoration to go all the way around the entire box. So I'm adding that piece so that my decoration will sit on the top and the rest of the box will be clear. Again, you will see me do that in just a few moments. So I went ahead and patted this and attached it. Now, this did not require sewing. We did this covering exactly like we did it for the last box that you just saw. So it's that same concept. And when you have that covered, you're going to attach it to the top of your box with your hot glue or your E6000. Now, you are going to have some gapping in here because you got fabric, you got ribbon, so it's not going to lay flush. So we're not going to leave that. We're going to actually cover our work. Now, I have some ribbon here just for the purposes of tutorial. This is 1/8 of an inch. So you can use that to cover that seam. It's a lot thinner. And just work that all the way around the box just to cover that. However, I'm going to be using something a little bit thicker. This one is 3/8 of an inch. And I like this because it's black. If I had this in 1/8 inch, I would use that too. But I'm going to be covering around the seams. And again, just be careful not to get too much glue. In some ways I did, but I knew that I was going to be covering that, so I wasn't too worried about it. But just be careful to remain as neat as possible. And we're going to run this all the way around the box. Okay. Now that we are done, let's look at all the designs we made. I am so excited, y'all. These came out super, super dope. I'm going to just scroll through and let you see the pictures of some of the ones I designed on and offline. But you know what? This was totally worth it. When I look back and ask myself, was it worth it? My answer is 100,000 times yes. I have saved thousands of dollars. When I was researching these, they had a minimum order of 100. The shipping was like between $300 and $400. So I've saved a ton of money, and everybody's going to get something really, really special. I cannot wait to hear which ones are your favorite. The gate style one was initially my dream, but as I began to do them, the paper crafted ones ended up becoming some of my favorites. One, because they were super, super fast to do, and those papers really elevated the box more than I expected. The silk invitations were nice. They were padded. They were cute. They were elegant and refined. I love them. But as you know, I did hate working with that fabric. Nevertheless, I do love the way that they came out. And of course, the gate style invitations were the bomb. And I was able to make these for about $2 and some change a piece. And the gated invitations were more like $5 to $6. But that's because I used a Hobby Lobby brooch that is $4.50 on sale. Don't do that. Buy brooches that are bulk. And, you know, hey, it'll save you a coin or two. The way you figure out the total cost to make it is you add up the cost of all your supplies, then you divide that by how much of the supplies you used per box. So doing it that way, I definitely saved thousands. It was so worth it to make it. Everybody's going to get that Rein touch. As I said earlier, I believe the invitation is the precursor to the event, and it tells your guests what they can expect when they come. This is a black tie affair, so I had to do something that was just super animated, you know, out there, out the box, something that a lot of people are not doing. And that video invitation though, oh my God, 2 gigabytes, y'all. I could do a whole 2-hour movie on that invitation if I wanted to. Plus, what I love about this is even though people don't keep the invitations, you know, people will keep a keepsake box. So I feel like I'm giving everybody something special that they can keep forever and repurpose. Even that video invitation can be reused. They're going to get the directions. They're going to get the little cord that comes with it. And they can actually take off what I put on there and upload their own photo album. They can even upload their own family movie. And it's already nice and decorated. Put it on your mantle, your fireplace. It is bomb. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know which ones were your favorite in the comments. Don't keep me a secret. Share me with a friend. Remember, the work of our hands are blessed, and you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I'm so excited. Until next time, guys. Love you.